Hi boys and girls. Hi first graders. I was just teaching our class mascot Mousy how to use the binoculars. It was a little tricky because it's dark outside, but he was still having fun. Welcome to my house. It's so fun to have you here. This is another opportunity we have to have a flipped classroom lesson. And since we started our unit on plants, I thought it would be fun to have a flipped classroom lesson on plants here in my home. So come on into my living room. And Mousy is so excited to be home with me, out of the classroom. He's been running around and scurrying around all day. So everyone went home with a sheet. And your sheet is a diagram of a plant on one side, and on the other side is your student voice sheet that you're going to fill out, okay? So we've been learning about plants in the classroom. We've learned so far that plants need sun, they need the sun, and they need the rain, and they need soil to survive. So today's objective is we are going to label 3 parts of a plant. Everyone get out your diagram and take out a pencil and we'll get going. Oh, what was that? Mousy has something. Okay. Mousy suggests that we read a book before we start labeling our plants. Boys and girls, what do you think? Okay, Mousy, do you have any book suggestions? Okay. Oh, one of my most favorite plants, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. Boys and girls, we love these books by Eric Carle. All right, nice suggestion, Mousy. Let's go. Mousy, you can help me turn the pages. The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It's hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Mousy, can you point to the seed? There's the seed, boys and girls. Do you see it? Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It's so small that the bird does not see it. Now it's winter. After the long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Mousy's very excited that he sees a mouse in this picture. That is pretty neat. Mousy loves to eat seeds too. Now it's spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring! Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now they're not seeds anymore. They're plants. First they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a great big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed has begun to grow. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It'll be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what's happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they've ever seen. It is a giant flower. Wow, that is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. I don't know if I've seen a flower as beautiful as that either. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. The end. That was such a wonderful book. Thank you for suggesting it, Mousy. I'm so glad you came along. Now, as the boys and girls and I fill out the diagram, would you mind sitting with your friends over there and watching and having your friends sit really nice and quietly? Okay, thank you, Mousy. And thanks for the book. Okay, boys and girls. So take out your diagrams and your pencils, and now we're going to start learning about 3 main parts of a plant. Okay? The first part that we're going to label are the roots. R-O-O-T-S. The roots are down here under the soil. And I have a plant that I brought to show you. And I can bring this into class too, but I'll just show you on the video. The roots grow under a plant in the ground. Tiny hairs absorb water and minerals, and the roots help hold the plant in place, okay? So when it's stormy and windy and the wind is blowing really hard, the roots hold the plant in place. So the top part of the plant may move around, but it stays anchored in from its roots. Okay? So we have roots labeled on our diagram. Now we're going to go up to leaves. L, E, A, V, E, S. And look at the leaves of this wonderful plant that I have right here. The leaves collect the sun's energy, and the leaves use the energy to make food out of water from the soil. So it takes up water and minerals from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air. Okay, so we have the roots, we have the leaves labeled, and that brings us to the third part of our diagram, which is the stem. And this one has all sorts of stems. Do you see this stem here? There's a few different parts of the stem. And the stem helps support the leaves and the flowers, and it helps support the leaves and the flowers, and it helps transport the water and the minerals from the roots up to the leaves. So it plays a really important part between the roots and the leaves. So we have labeled the root, oopsies, the leaves right here, and the stem. The stem. All right, boys and girls, make sure that you have all three of those parts labeled on your diagram. And now we're going to flip our diagram over. And here is our student voice sheet. So flip your diagram over and make sure to write your name at the top. Number 1 says, how well did you enjoy this video? Please circle one answer below. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was great. I loved the video. So circle one of these answers because I really want to know what you think of these flipped classroom experiences and what you thought of the video. And number 2 says, write a sentence telling me one thing you liked or didn't like from the video lesson you just watched. Okay, so just write me one sentence. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Either one. I want to hear from you. And tomorrow, when you come back to class, you will have your 3 parts of a plant. You'll have your 3 parts of the plant labeled. You'll have your student voice sheet filled out, and we will be able to discuss what you learned from our flipped lesson today, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Mousy wants to say goodbye. It was so nice to see you, class, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow at school. Have a really good night. Goodbye.